What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we are going to be bantering about the team MVPs for each and every team across Major League Baseball. Today, the division we're going to begin with is the American League East. Now, these qualifications are going to be the team's most valuable player. So not necessarily that they're going to win the MVP award for the league, but just for their team in the 2023 season. So we're going to begin in alphabetical order with the Baltimore Orioles. Now, when it comes to the Baltimore Orioles, to me, there is a very big distinction that Adley Rutschman is the team MVP. I think that when you look at what this team is going to be in 2023, they're an up-and-coming team. They're going to have some young talent infused. And when you saw Adley Rutschman come up in 2022, the infusion of life that he brought to the Baltimore Orioles signifies just how valuable he is to this team. And I think as being the catcher, the field general for this Baltimore Orioles squad, to me, it is absolutely the Baltimore Orioles equivalent of Buster Posey. And this is going to be a guy who, mark my words, is going to be a contender for the most valuable player within the next 5 years in the American League. I definitely believe in this player, and I believe that he has that ability to be able to be that guy. So for the Baltimore Orioles, Adley Rutschman is the team MVP. Now, as we look at the Boston Red Sox next up, I think it's very clear it's Rafael Devers. When the Boston Red Sox have gone through this transition under Chaim Bloom, there was a lot of speculation and not a lot positive in terms of how this organization has handled their homegrown superstars. They finally got the job done right with Rafael Devers. Now, I think that when you look at what he is capable of doing for this team, this is the guy that you're going to be putting in the middle of your order. This is the guy that goes on all the marketing campaigns. This is the most valuable asset for the Boston Red Sox. I think that when you look at what Boston needs to do around Devers is build out more of a sustainable core. Now, that being said, Boston is putting together a lot of money on the 2023 roster. In my opinion, it is not done well. The Athletic, Chad Jennings of The Athletic, had an article up about how the payroll is actually being divvied out for the 2023 Red Sox. And in reality, they're not doing a ton perfectly well with that money that's being spent on this 2023 roster. So there needs to be some sort of changes around Devers, but without question, Rafael is the team MVP. Now, as we look at the New York Yankees, it's without question Aaron Judge is the most valuable player. This is the reigning, defending American League most valuable player. But also when you look at what he means for the organization from a marketing perspective, from a face of the franchise perspective, from a face of baseball perspective, this is the guy that you build everything around. For Aaron Judge, the Yankees have done what they've done for no other player, creating the Judge's Chambers, a marketable piece inside of the stadium for this specific player is something that you've never seen, no matter who the legends are that have come through this organization. And they did that very early on in his career. To me, Aaron Judge is the embodiment of what it means to be a Yankee captain, what it means to be a most valuable player. For the Yankees in 2023, without Aaron Judge, this was going to be a very difficult season, but having him in the fold to me is going to make it a much better and much more postseason driven season, a World Series driven team by having their MVP, Aaron Judge. Now, as we look at the Tampa Bay Rays, their team MVP is without question Wander Franco. I think that when you look at what this player can be for the Rays, this is the guy who they have spent the most money on. This is the guy who is going to be the most important piece of their roster in 2023. Now, it is going to require him to be healthy all season long for him to really stand out as the most valuable player, because it is value to be on the field day in and day out for your squad. This has been a player who has been injury prone, but without question, he is the most significant piece for this roster. Tampa is undergoing some serious changes with their roster this year, but if they can get a constant performance, 145, 150, 155 games out of Wander Franco, this is going to be a guy who absolutely will finish in the top 10, top 15 in the American League Most Valuable Player voting. Now, that being said, he has to stay healthy to be the Rays team MVP. Now we round out the American League East with the Toronto Blue Jays, and their team MVP is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This player arguably was robbed a couple of seasons ago of an American League MVP award, but the slight regression that he had last season is not anything short of what you're going to have to expect going forward. I think that this player absolutely has the ability and the potential to be an MVP level player each and every single season. I think that for Toronto, this is a guy who you have built your organization around. You definitely want to sign long term. You want to keep him in a Blue Jays uniform for his entire career. This is a guy who you absolutely market around, you build around, and this is the guy who proves year in and year out what he is capable of in terms of being most valuable to your organization. With the bat in his hand, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is absolutely a devastating at bat to deal with as an opposing pitcher. For that reason, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the Toronto Blue Jays team MVP. But I want to hear from you. Let me know who you believe, who you feel is the team MVP for every team in the American League East division. Let me know that down in the comments, or find me over on Twitter at @banter_baseball, and we can keep that conversation rolling. If you want to show support for us, follow us on all our social media channels, like I said, on Twitter, as well as finding our Instagram and TikTok pages, Baseball Banter Broadcast. If you want to show more support, head over to laracuenteledger.com. It is our blog site where we cover the world of Major League Baseball, as well as other things. And to show even more support for us here at the Baseball Banter Broadcast, head over to our merchandise shop, baseballbanterbroadcast.com. We have a ton of promo codes you can use to save on some banter merch. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you have not already, subscribe to this channel. Do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button down below and the bell for post notifications so that every time we drop a new broadcast here, you will be notified. More than 95% of our audience is not yet a subscriber. So if you haven't already, please do that favor as we try to grow this baseball community, this baseball family. Hit the subscribe button down below. Now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this broadcast, and I will catch you on the next one when we banter about the world of baseball. Peace.